My life started out as a subcontractor, and I built houses all over the southeast and as far west as New Mexico and Arizona. And in '80, I fell and got hurt. And through that, I had to find some other means to support my family. And my first wife was a Navajo from New Mexico, and the time that I lived in New Mexico and the people that I associated with, my in-laws, were all silversmiths. And I learned the basics about silversmithing. I learned a lot of different methods and techniques. And so when I got hurt, I applied that to my income. And when I started doing shows, small shows, my business picked up and I did very well. I do silversmithing, which is one of my mediums, and I used to do wood carving. I used to do flint knapping, and I did flute making, and I also did bones carvings. So in a sense, I've been blessed with a lot of different types of artwork. And so it takes two, a lot of time, you know, to be successful. And what I mean by that is the creator creates and the manager manages it. And so that's where the partnerships come in. And I'm lucky. I didn't have to hire a manager. I married my managers.
So my name is Ute Grant, and I'm lucky to be General's wife. But he also works with other gemstones, for example, with turquoise, with what pretty much everybody knows as the Native American gemstone in jewelry. And this is one of his beautiful pieces, a very good example for him cutting the stone himself. And what I love especially about this piece is the way he shows how he really thinks outside of the box. You don't find a piece like this often. And it has this beautiful Sleeping Beauty quality, and he shows how he likes to use the big, heavy, thick silver. He likes to do quality work, and I always tell the people that he can think small.
She does a lot of the book work, the bookkeeping, and the management of the business. Now we have this business here, which is the studio, and where I actually work in the backyard. And then I have items that you can actually order and be made on site. And this is basically my project here. Now we have this other storefront downtown in the middle of Cherokee, and my wife Ute, she manages that one. And through the two businesses, it keeps us very busy. And that first year was kind of touch and go, but then we met all of our requirements. We paid all our bills. We made a little bit of extra, and I still continue to do the larger art shows. We cut it down to about 10 shows a year, and so she kept that business going, and things were very good. And this is our fourth year. And if you're willing to work or willing to respect yourself, this is what I say. If you can respect yourself as much as you respect your boss, you will do 3 to 4 times better in life, because you can give yourself the same amount of time to create, and you give yourself the same amount of time to market your product. So you will do very fantastic if you look at your art form or your business as that.
Well, my name is Christy Long. I'm in nativology. We do Southeastern Native Design, specifically Cherokee Design. We do that on laser engraving. We research and develop designs, stories, different mediums, and accessible ways to get these designs out to the public, because the stories are important. The people here in Cherokee haven't had access to many of their own designs because the shops have been geared to provide products for a mass market. The things that you find in the local stores weren't necessarily high quality products. They weren't designed with the native lifestyle in mind. To be an artist in the concept of our community, is to be able to provide service and, to fulfill needs for other community members. We provide art for outside tourists, people coming in, want to take something home. In our community, it takes away from our ability to provide, products or resources for people in their everyday lives. So I realized that was missing when we were having our language class, for example, and there were really no tactile tools. And Native people are more full circle learners, not necessarily linear learners. So having something that you could touch and feel and build with is important, especially to the children and especially to people my age who are trying to go back and learn the language. So I started hand burning syllabary blocks. That's where it all started. And I couldn't keep up with the amount of work that was being requested. And in that process, I've learned, I come from a technology background, and I learned how to utilize CNC machinery. And so I bought a laser engraver, and I started producing them at a higher capacity. My biggest obstacles are that there's just no market other than a collector's market for Native arts at this point in time. Access to broadband, access to technology has limited, I feel, our community from being able to move flexibly into a greater market sphere. So that's been one of the biggest limitations, for accessing an adequate market. I feel like I have learned what's important to me about my culture, what is authentic, and what can change, which is key, because that gives us our roots to grow, that gives us the seed to plant. I've had to learn how to understand what change is. I feel like that the biggest lesson I've learned about change for myself and within my business and my community is that you cannot be reasonable. You cannot adapt yourself to what's around you. You have to be unreasonable. You have to be able to change what's around you, your perspectives, your minds, your thoughts, your feelings, your character, in a way that is authentic to who you truly are, because you're always having to be able to meet something in the middle to achieve your goals.
Mi nombre es Alejandro Hernández Herrera y el nombre de mi compañía es King of Kings Painting. Realmente tengo 11 años pintando como pintor, pero realmente tengo 2 años con mi compañía, que la inicié el 10 de septiembre del 2014, porque me gustó mucho, ¿verdad?, ayudar realmente tanto a mí, valorar todo lo que puedo hacer, y realmente me gusta mucho pintar casas, ¿verdad? Y me alegra mucho y ayudar a otras personas, como poder enseñarles más de lo que yo tengo a experimentar de mi trabajo. Ahorita tengo 3 gentes, y sin embargo ahorita quiero tener más, ¿verdad? Más gente. Y al futuro yo quiero tener mínimo 10 gentes. Bueno, esos problemas y retos que he tenido han sido realmente como el idioma, ¿verdad?, el inglés aquí en Estados Unidos, que es un gran problema, ¿no? Más que nada es la pronunciación. Ese ha sido uno de los factores indispensables que he fallado un poquito. Ya como uno grande, pues ya no se le pega un poquito el inglés, pero sí, quiero superarme, ¿verdad? Tratar de aprender más. Y también otros retos no sé cómo están las leyes aquí en Estados Unidos. Todo lo que se enfoca realmente lo que es en taxas, de todo lo que es del negocio. Es un poquito involucrarme más a todo lo que es eso. Esos fueron un poquito los retos que tengo en mente. Sí, realmente llegué también, lo que puedo recomendar, que he tomado cursos, ¿verdad? Como realmente a veces el payroll, cómo se nos dificulta, o todo lo que es realmente lo que es la contaduría, perdón,
Contabilidad.
con la contabilidad que podemos hacer. Eso nos ayuda también a tener clases, ¿verdad? Para una educación y que nuestro negocio se incremente más y podamos formarnos realmente como un buen negocio cimentado y tratar de ver toda esa ayuda que nos tienen para asegurarnos realmente de lo que estamos haciendo en nuestro negocio que tenemos. Ahorita estoy trabajando con dos constructoras. Una es Armax Construction y la otra es High Reach Custom Homes. Son los de los builder, los con los que trabajo. Y ahorita actualmente a Armax le he pintado 6 casas, interior y exterior. Y ahorita a High Reach Custom Homes le he pintado ahorita 2 casas, pero realmente están grandes. Estamos hablando de 5,000 pies cuadrados, que son residenciales muy grandes. Y próximamente ahorita tengo más proyectos, como ahorita tienen 2 casas más, igual High Reach Custom Homes, que les ha gustado mi trabajo, ¿no? Como calidad y buen ambiente. Y también tengo otros trabajitos aparte con otras personas que me han recomendado y les ha gustado mi trabajo. Bueno, yo el consejo que le daría es que no tengamos miedo, sino que tengamos esa seguridad de uno mismo, en que decir que sí se puede. Quizás muchos luego a veces no sabemos, como ahorita que la oportunidad tengo de Carolina Small Business, que nos dio la oportunidad de un préstamo, es donde podemos nosotros subir, ¿verdad? Y yo realmente, pues decirle a todos los amigos, los ando invitando a que anden formando su compañía, a que suban ese reto. Y gracias a Dios hay trabajo, pero realmente darles la oportunidad a ellos y ver realmente que hay personas como de Carolina Small Business y por medio de Suril Manuel que nos pueden ayudar a los latinos.
I like to think of Emmanuel's Corner as a small corner of the world that God allowed big things to happen. God gave me a vision, and the vision was to help people. So what we do here at Emmanuel's Corner is we try to help entrepreneurs get their business up and running for an affordable price. So when I was a little girl, I lived right around the corner. And this is where I used to come and wash my clothes. It was a convenience store. This part of the building was a convenience store. There's another part in the back, and it was a laundromat. So as I grew older, I came back to the community, the same community where I was raised, and saw this store turn into some positive things, but then some things that wasn't so positive. It became vacant. And I spoke with my husband, we prayed about it. So we had the opportunity to speak with the owners of the store, and they allowed us to lease it. So after we prayed, God laid on my heart to help people with it. And that's the purpose, that's how it came about. We do some events as far as family-oriented events where people can rent the building. They rent it for 4 hours for $50. And they can have anything that's family-oriented. We've had birthday parties, we've had weddings, you name it. Anything that's family-oriented, we've had it here. Christmas parties, Thanksgiving, families that come in here and had the Thanksgiving dinner. We also have business fairs which allow us to network, allow small business to come in here and get to advertise their business. The biggest challenge that I faced when I first started Emmanuel's Corner was financial. But my thing is, when God gives you a vision, He gives you the provision. He never fails me. So I knew that somehow, some way, I know God gave this to me, so I knew it would work out. I opened the doors, didn't know what to expect, and when I walked in here, the walls were red, the floors was a dirty gray, no lights, God gave me the provision, and it all worked out. People came and they volunteered. I had people to ask, what did I need? When God gives you a vision, He gives you the provision. The biggest challenge is don't start a business for money. If you want to start a business, make sure it's something that you would do without getting paid for. Because if it's not your passion, you're not going to do it on a regular basis. You're not going to look forward to it. So make sure it's your passion. And if it's your passion and you pray about it, it's going to prosper.
I don't know, I started doing it really young, you know, helping people. They'll come to me and say, can you help me move that box? Can you help me with the bathroom? Can you help me mopping the floor? So I just pretty much, that's where I started, and I like the feeling I get when they're really happy with what we have accomplished. So I decided to get some help through AV Tech and started working with the Small Business Center with the Latino program and any kind of help I could get, you know. We have commercial, residential clients. We work with real estate, move-ins, move-outs, any rentals. People who are sick, they might just call us once and, you know, we get to help them, and that's what I like about this business, that, you know, basically anyone can reach us.
We've been open for 6 months, and since we opened in February, we've had the privilege of utilizing Ana Ortega and her housekeeping services. What we most appreciate about her and her services is she caters the needs to the specific building or office that she's working with, and more specifically, she uses a doTERRA product, which is sort of a essential oil, and most of our clients walk in and they're like, wow, we're walking into a spa. And that's what we love most about Ana and her services.
My logo is really special for me because one of my clients talked to me and he said, why don't you do this your business? I mean, you are so great at what you do and you do it with so much passion. And he said, I can help you with your logo and your web design. And then I was kind of, you know, hesitant in the beginning. And then one day I came to clean his house and he approached me with the logo and he said, this is the idea, this is what your company is gonna look like. And then he decided those 3 words was something that described me. So it was really touchy for me, you know, it's really special to see how he describes me, as, not just as a business, but as a person. Honesty, reliable, and, you know, those powerful words that, you know, loyal. And I'm like, that's who I am. That's what he thinks that I am. Wow, you can't beat that. My father keeps telling me, don't look at the obstacle before you get there. Just jump when it comes, you know, and keep going, keep going. And that's how I basically do my life. I take that approach in my life and in my business. I don't see the obstacles before I start. I just jump when it gets there.
Hola Caroline is 100% local. Hola Caroline is a Spanish magazine based in Asheville, but we deliver the magazine in Spartanburg, Greenville areas and most of the Western North Carolina areas. Back then when I started my business, I was without a job, a single mom, and no a lot of savings. I have a couple $100 in my savings and I said, well, I need to do something. You know, I have no job, I have to do something. And I put together a media kit. I printed with those couple $100 and I started knocking doors everywhere. I started researching on my own about this business. In this community, we have amazing resources. We have amazing nonprofit organizations that are here to help us. And every time that anybody has something that I can go to, I'll try to take advantage of that. Like the support center, the Women's Business Center, Mountain Bees Works. I'm very close to those organizations, and I always try to make sure to go and learn something else. We have 275 locations here in Western North Carolina and another 100 in the South, in Greenville and Spartanburg so far. We deliver at restaurants, churches, hospitals, schools, small businesses, big businesses, just anybody that welcome Hola Carolina and would like to promote what we do. We are based in Nashville, and we have mobile offices, and we come to you, we come to businesses. If anybody wants to advertise, anybody wants to tell a positive story, we come to you, we take pictures, we just try to make sure to have all the information that we need. We put cultural events in the magazine as well. We have a calendar for non-profit organizations or churches or anybody that wants to promote the business with the Latino community. We make sure to put the information there, and we are always looking for stories to tell, resources to tell, and anybody that wants to promote what they're doing, we love to tell it, and we love to expose that in the community.
Wherever there's community, there is a copy of the Urban News. What will make you want to pick up a copy of Urban News is because we are a grassroots publication. We are the man on the street. We talk about what impacts our communities of Asheville, Buncombe County, and the Western North Carolina region. The need to start Urban News was to give a voice to the voiceless communities of Asheville and Buncombe County, which is something that was lacking in the mainstream publications here in Asheville. People had something to say, and they wanted a platform in order to say it. So with that, I decided to produce this multicultural publication. And I say multicultural because we may all look alike, but we come from diverse backgrounds and ethnicities. So to put us all in one basket, it's just rubber stamping a community of people. We are colorful. We have a lot to bring to the table. There is a certain uniqueness about every individual that the Urban News publication speaks to. The Urban News is a monthly publication that goes to press on the second Wednesday of each month. The publication is distributed in 10 counties in Western North Carolina. I work with a small group of passionate graphic designers, copy editors, journalists, and people whose mission is the same as mine, which is to empower our multicultural communities of Asheville, Buncombe County, and the entire Western North Carolina region. The challenges that I faced were minuscule in comparison to my passion. Once you have the passion and it's there, it's a glowing fire and a desire to do what it is that you want to do and what you want to promote. It's in your spirit. It's a part of your DNA. It becomes a part of your existence and something that you want to share with everyone.